So get this, a new company just hit the public markets with a claim so massive, so audacious, that it might just be signaling a total shakeup of Wall Street. And what is that claim? The creation of a Bitcoin central bank. The company is 21 Capital. So let's dig in and figure out what's really going on here. I mean, listen to this. The source material we're diving into today kicks things off with this incredibly bold statement. It's framing this company's launch as way more than just another IPO. No, this is supposed to be the first shot fired in a brand new era for banking. Pretty wild, right? It's a huge claim, so let's unpack what's actually behind it. All right, so what exactly happened to get everyone talking? Well, a company called 21 Capital has officially gone public, and the source we're looking at describes this event as a move that could seriously disrupt the entire balance of power on Wall Street. And the million-dollar question is, who's behind all this? And believe me, this is where the story gets really interesting. According to the source, we're not talking about some small startup here. This is a full-blown alliance of 4 financial heavy hitters, and each one is bringing a ton of influence and capital to the party. First up, we've got Jack Mallers. Now, you might know him as the founder of Strike, the Bitcoin payments company, but the narrative here really leans into his deep roots in traditional finance, pointing out his family connection to the chairman of the Chicago Board of Trade. So he's being positioned as the visionary, the guy who gets both worlds. Next on the list is Tether. And yeah, you probably know them as the biggest stablecoin issuer out there. But get this, their influence goes way beyond crypto. The information reveals they have a massive footprint in traditional finance too. They are the 17th largest holder of US treasuries on the entire planet. They're a true bridge between these two financial worlds. And then there's SoftBank. I mean, these guys are legendary. They're a global investment powerhouse, managing an unbelievable amount of money. And they're famous for backing some of the biggest tech revolutions we've ever seen, all the way back to the dot-com era. When they get involved, it signals they believe something huge is about to happen. And rounding out this dream team is Cantor Fitzgerald. As a primary dealer, they work directly with the Federal Reserve, which puts them right at the heart of the traditional system. They've also got these super strong government connections, which adds this whole other layer of institutional legitimacy to the entire operation. Okay, so you've got this incredible all-star team. The question is, what are they actually trying to do? Well, the source lays out some seriously ambitious goals for 21 Capital, and they all point towards one central mission. It really boils down to a 3-part strategy. First, they're on an aggressive mission to become the single largest corporate holder of Bitcoin in the world. Second, they plan to build enormous, profitable businesses inside the Bitcoin ecosystem. And third, they want to give investors a way to get exposure to Bitcoin through a real, working company, not just a passive fund that holds the asset. And here's the kicker. They're not starting from scratch, not even close. According to the source, 21 Capital is hitting the ground running, with a staggering treasury of 43,000 Bitcoin already under its control. Now, to put that number into perspective for you, let's make a quick comparison. The source claims that, at launch, 21 Capital's 43,000 Bitcoin is more than 4 times the amount held by a major public player like Coinbase. On day 1! Talk about making a statement. Hey, by the way, if you're finding this explainer valuable, do us a quick favor and hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps us bring you more content like this, and you won't miss what's coming next. All right, so whenever you hear claims this big, you know the skeptics are going to come out, and honestly, for good reason. But what's interesting here is that the source material actually dives right into that skepticism head-on. And of course, they bring up the big one, the classic attack that's been thrown at Bitcoin for years. Isn't this just another tulip mania? You know, the idea that it's all just a speculative bubble with no real value destined to pop. But here's where they flip the script, and this is pretty clever. The perspective they offer is that the tulip bubble actually laid the groundwork for the Netherlands to dominate the global flower industry for centuries. So from their point of view, calling it tulip mania is actually a compliment, not an insult. And they go even further with this definition, which I find fascinating. According to them, a bubble is a bull market in which you don't have a position. In other words, calling something a bubble is just what people do to feel better when they've missed the boat on a huge opportunity. And to really show they mean business, check out this quote, attributed to the son of Cantor Fitzgerald's CEO. The message is crystal clear. They're not scared of price drops. They are practically praying for them. That's not speculation, that's deep, deep conviction.
Okay, so this is where we zoom out. Because the argument being made is that this isn't just about finance or one single company. It's about a fundamental shift, something global, something generational, in the way we all think about money.
And this quote really hits on that generational why. I mean, think about it. If you're a younger person today buying a house or investing in a stock market that feels totally overvalued, it can seem almost impossible. The idea here is that Bitcoin is the alternative. It's their asset, something they can actually build on. And this is not just a story for places like the US. The source makes a powerful global point with this perspective from a Pakistani minister. For people in countries where the local currency is unstable, where inflation is just out of control, Bitcoin isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a lifeboat. It's described as a relief, a way to protect what you've earned. So, that's what it all comes down to, really. Are we watching the birth of a new financial bedrock for the internet age, a whole new standard? Or is this just the biggest, boldest, most audacious gamble that Wall Street has ever made? One thing's for sure, the story is just getting started.